I'm asking, would you walk away? What would it take for you to walk away from $50 million? Because it's true. That's exactly what I did. And so long as these contracts out there include enforcement of big tech, of punishing conservative creators on behalf of the people we claim to fight and the people who have long since demonetized us and can't stand me, and part of me doesn't blame them. As long as these contracts include that, not even for me, but the next person, I wouldn't take $1 billion.
Well, to walk away from $50 million, first someone would have to offer me $50 million. So if there's any takers out there, my DMs are open. But the feud between Steven Crowder and the Daily Wire is heating up. And now Steven Crowder is trying to make himself out to be some kind of martyr for the next generation of conservative creators. Ben Shapiro also weighed in, but first we have to watch more of the video Crowder released last night. So trigger warning, more Steven Crowder to come, where he played a clip of a secret recording of a phone conversation with Daily Wire CEO Jeremy. And yes, this is his real last name, Boring.
I know, and these people know and acknowledge exactly what's being done to the next generation of creators.
Bench talent, young talent, they don't get deals like this.
So they don't get deals that
they can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand.
That you then own.
Oh, I own parts of it. I don't own it. They can, when their contract's up, they can still go out and they'll still be famous. They can keep doing their shows, so go do a show somewhere else. They'll be in a far, far, far better place. You helped make them.
No, not long as this contract. This contract owns it in perpetuity even after the contract. You're paying a lease but getting ownership. That's what this contract is.
On the content that we paid to produce, yes.
But Crowder's even trying to claim that his complaints about the contract had nothing to do with the bunny. So let's watch.
You've never heard me say or write anywhere online that these offers weren't paying enough money. Why? Because it's not about the money. It's kind of unreal to me that the only thing these people can still talk about is the money. The conversation was about conservatism, the movement, and big tech. They keep talking about money. I'm talking about a country. I'm talking about a movement. I'm talking about making a difference. What motivates me is not money. Of course, everyone here likes nice things. They want to make a living. You've heard me say this many times. I want to pass the torch.
Maybe one of the reasons people can't stop talking about the money is because $50 million over 4 years is a hell of a lot of money. But let's all think back to what he said in his original video as we look at this tweet from Will Sommer, who was discussing the fight between Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. And he said in his video, Steven Crowder insists that this is a slave contract. There's no need to be enslaved like this. Then the Daily Wire revealed this slave contract was for $50 million over 4 years, 4 weeks off a year, and Crowder never working Fridays. Not a bad deal. Also, not exactly a slave contract. I think a lot of people would be very happy to be offered that type of benefits and that much money. But Ben Shapiro also weighed in on this and spoke out for his company, the Daily Wire, in a series of tweets this morning. He started by saying, "It's nasty to attack my company and Daily Wire Plus hosts as, quote, big con by lying about the meaning of a non-binding term sheet. It's despicable to plan weeks in advance to attack my best friend and your friend," talking about Jeremy Boring, "by setting up and secretly taping a phone call, all to grow your email list," which is a little bit funny for Ben Shapiro to say, because as a right-wing grifter, he knows that everything that all of them do is in an effort to grow their audience and make more money. But nevertheless, he continued on and said, "Once more, if you actually care about the supposedly horrific non-binding first offer term sheet offering $50 million over 4 years, Jeremy reads it line by line here. It's quite simple. If your show loses money, you lose money. This is how capitalism works." Now that video, like Jeremy, is quite boring, so I wouldn't suggest going and watching it for yourself. But Ben Shapiro kept going in this tweet thread and said, "You know who knows this? Steven Crowder. That's why he has a, quote, piss off YouTube segment in which he deliberately does not say things that will get him kicked off YouTube and directs people behind his paywall. He must be a shill for YouTube or something. And a bruised Jeremy Boring also felt like he needed to weigh in on this, and this is what he tweeted. I would play the part of that call where we talked about our kids, Christmas, and him buying baby formula for his brother's children, but I wouldn't even know how to secretly record phone calls with my friends. So all of this has been exceptionally funny to me. The best case scenario for me is that they all, tear each other apart from the inside of this right-wing grift media sphere. But Cenk, what are your thoughts on the infighting going on here?
Yeah, so look, I would love to tell you guys that they're both wrong, they're both horrible, and tell you how they're wrong and show you how they're all right-wing grifters. And we do that on a regular basis here. But as the facts would have it, one side is actually right. And I hate to say it, having trouble getting it out, but yes, it's Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring. They are definitely right, and Steven Crowder is definitely wrong. And so there's, what do I mean by right and wrong? Well, there's first factually correct or incorrect, and Crowder is factually incorrect on some things, as I'll explain in a second. Or there's also morality. So I'll get to morality second. Let me do the facts. So he says, aha, there, because in the secret recording, Jeremy Boring talked about how some of the up and coming right-wing jerks that are part of his network would be wage slaves for a little while, but then they can grow their brand, and if they wanted, they can go out on their own. That is digital media 101. And when he refers to wage slaves, now that's a situation where the left wing could get offended. He used the word slave, etc. No, that is a common term, right? I'm not sure that it should be a common term, but it is. And he doesn't say it like, aha, we got him. No, he says like, yeah, you get a salary, but that's at least the salary you wouldn't have gotten if you were on your own, and you get to build your brand within our company while we help you build it, we pay money for you to build it, and we give you a direct salary. So it's not at all an aha that he used that term. And Crowder is being purposely misleading in saying that, and that's because he had said earlier that it was a slave contract. It's insanity. When you get paid $12.5 million a year, and on very light conditions, that was a contract that was deeply favorable to Crowder. He's so stupid. And here I'll prove to you, both on the factual and on the intelligence point, why he's stupid. When a contract says that they have the rights to the videos that are produced, for example, if you were to do that 4-year deal, in that 4 years, the videos that are produced, they would have the rights, Daily Wire would have the rights to that in perpetuity. That does not mean that they own all of Crowder's videos forever and ever. No, it means they own those videos created in those 4 years where they were paying him $50 million. They own those videos in perpetuity or forever. They don't own the videos before, they don't own the videos after, they don't own his intellectual property. He misunderstood it because he's a moron. He's so stupid. And by the way, guys, who the hell's gonna offer Steven Crowder a contract now? If you offer him a contract, he's gonna go on air and be like, oh, these terrible people who tried to give me a lot of money. Oh, look at them. Oh. And he's so stupid, he doesn't even understand the contracts. Even if you offered him the greatest contract in the world, and this is pretty damn close to the greatest contract in the world, he's gonna attack you. And one, because he's stupid, and two, because he's a grifter and he can't help himself. He's like the scorpion that stung the frog and they both sang. And he said, that's because I'm a scorpion. So he's started this flame war. So that brings me to the morality issue. As Shapiro pointed out, and these are facts, on December 12th, Crowder registered stopbigcon.com. You remember yesterday we showed you, made a reference to Big Con, that's Daily Wire and Shapiro, etc. So he's planning to attack them, and he registers a website to attack them on December 12th. And then on January 7th, about a month later, he sets up the call with Jeremy Boring, knowing that he is not going to take the contract, and that he's trying to catch Boring in a secretly recorded call saying something bad. That means Crowder meant to screw them the entire time. and he took advantage of their friendship to betray them even more. Crowder is among a nest of vipers. I can't stand any of those right-wingers. He might be the worst. By the way, I said that on social media, and you guys are not gonna be surprised. The right wing was like, oh, I guess Crowder's right then. Because if objective, factually accurate people are saying he's the worst, that must mean he's the best. Because the right wing loves liars. They love grifters. They love immoral, indecent people. So even though Crowder is clearly 200% wrong, he might win this battle because that's what right wingers like. They like immoral pricks like Crowder. Lance.
I love this story for a number of reasons, and I want everyone to get really excited about this for one key fact. This is basically Crowder showing up and being like, he didn't understand babies first capitalism. And he's trying to say that big tech is actually working with the right because there's all these provisions in the contract. Each one says, hey, if you get demonetized on a specific social media platform, YouTube, you name it, we want to recoup the costs, which if they're offering an 8-figure salary, that seems completely normal that they would want to insulate themselves from that. And now Crowder is saying that they're working directly with the right and turning the whole thing into a cause. And like you see this pattern all the time. Jordan Peterson turned Bill, C-15 into his cause when it wasn't a real thing. Crowder's now doing this, saying that he's fighting big con and big tech, when at the end of the day, like it's capitalism 101. It totally makes sense that they would want to insulate themselves while hiring a guy like that.
Yeah, maybe the solution is not to hire him in the first place, but they want the money.
Yeah. So look, one more thing on this. One thing that I love about it, I mean, sure, of course, first of all, yes, grab the popcorn, okay, for sure. And here it is, we got it for you. It's kind of a popcorn. There it is. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Wait,
come get it. Come get it.
Budget? What's going on here?
I know it's a low budget popcorn. Anyway, we didn't have the $50 million. So, but seriously, so that part of it is super fun. These guys ripping each other's faces off, but it's about to get more fun because this is the beginning of dissension on the right wing. This happened on the left because the left was larger online, and who was larger? We were. That's why Steven Crowder got his career started by dressing up like me, by dressing up like Anna, by showing up wherever I went. And the grift was we're the largest, so everybody attacks us, right? And then you remember he did this giant celebration video when he thought he passed us, because the greatest achievement apparently, according to Steven Crowder, is being able to match or pass the Young Turks. So, but what that created was a number of grifters on our side, like Dave Rubin, Jimmy Dore, going out, being independent, and immediately attacking us for the same reason Crowder attacked us, because the algorithms reward that kind of attack, and the way that they are structured, it incentivizes deeply immoral people like Rubin and Dore and Crowder to attack their own. So now, what's Crowder doing? He's attacking his own. So is this the end of it? No, we're just at the beginning. I guarantee you at some point, the other Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, whoever else, they're gonna go independent and they're gonna attack Shapiro, and then they're gonna start attacking each other and they're gonna rip each other to shreds. Because I mean, our side had a couple of bad guys, and every side has that, right? On their side, everyone's a bad guy. So they have no moral boundaries at all. And now that they're big enough on their own, they're all gonna get extra credit from the algorithm for attacking one another. That means grab a lot of popcorn. This is just the beginning of the festivities. This is gonna devolve into a bloody rhetorical melee.
Can I add just one last thing? I don't think he's ever held a normal job in his entire life. Who approaches a contract negotiation like this? Because this is just the real world. I'm sorry, if you've never worked in a kitchen or you've never worked in a fast food restaurant or anything like that, it's totally normal for someone to present you with a contract being like, you're my commodity, Steven. You're what is valuable. This is what I'm signing, and I want to protect myself. I would like to insulate myself from your sketches. I know what you do. I know you want to do the transphobic N-word sketch. If you're gonna do that, you will be demonetized, and in pursuant of that, I want to protect my investment. It's surprise, surprise.
Yeah, and last thing, like we said yesterday, it's not Daily Wire demonetizing you, you moron. It's advertisers telling Facebook, YouTube, and the platforms, or Daily Wire itself, the advertisers saying we will not advertise on that, and hence you will not get any money for it. Then Daily Wire turns around and says, well, and by the way, they didn't even say you won't get any money for it. They said you'll be docked like 20%, but if your video is demonetized, you get 0 for it, okay? So it was actually an incredibly favorable contract. It doesn't get any better than that contract. And that was their opening offer. Boring said in his boring video that they were going to offer more. But this moron burned the bridges because that's who the right wing is. They're both immoral and stupid. So a lot more of that ahead for these internal civil war in the right wing media, which I totally love. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.